Wow.
Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad. YouTubers and keep putting them in there with MMA guys.
Yeah.
That's kind of over the hill. He's going to continue.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. recently shared his thoughts on the widely discussed fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, delivering a reaction that caught many by surprise. Despite his long-running tension with Paul, Mayweather offered unexpectedly respectful comments about the matchup. Leading up to the event, fans grew concerned when Tyson reportedly felt dizzy and nauseous on a flight due to an ulcer flare-up. But the former heavyweight champion quickly reassured everyone that he was healthy and prepared to step into the ring. The highly anticipated bout streamed live on Netflix and drew a sold-out crowd at a TNT Stadium in Arlington. With expectations running high, particularly among Tyson's supporters, however, the evening unfolded in a way few had predicted, as what was meant to be a dramatic showdown turned into an unpredictable spectacle marked by streaming hiccups, production confusion, and even an unexpected camera moment involving Tyson during the undercard. Jake Paul made his entrance in a green convertible, accompanied by his brother Logan, while Tyson chose a more classic approach, walking calmly to the ring and reminding everyone that, even at 58, he remains one of boxing's most iconic figures.
And now they're finally walking out. It's all this theatrical stuff that's happening right now. I just want to see these guys fight. I don't care about your car. I don't care about 30 minutes of commercials. I hope Mike Tyson walks out like a G, like a praying. He just walks out like, I'm here to box. Now, I'm not saying Mike Tyson can't win. I'm just saying, we'll see. Maybe he's going to defy age. Bar one. Mike Tyson. Holy. Okay, that right hand though, 2 minutes is not long enough. 2 minutes is very, very quick.
Tyson energized the crowd early with flashes of his old aggression. But as the fight continued, his pace dropped and 27-year-old Jake Paul began taking control. Paul relied on steady jabs and clean counters to build a clear advantage over 8 two-minute rounds, ultimately earning a unanimous decision as boos filled a TNT Stadium. Tyson, wearing a knee brace and later revealing a leg injury, managed only 18 punches compared to Paul's 78, though he showed veteran defense to avoid serious damage. It was his first professional bout since losing to Kevin McBride in 2005, aside from his 2020 exhibition with Roy Jones Jr. And while his bravery was respected, the result reminded fans that even legends eventually face their limits.
I have no idea how much I'm praying that you are right. I do not want to see Mike Tyson get knocked out. I really, really don't. I'm proud at how his life has evolved and all of this stuff after all that he's been through. I don't wish this brother to get knocked out. But yo, fellas, he's 31 years older than Jake Paul. 31. Do y'all understand? I'm gonna put this in perspective. I was just telling somebody here in studio in LA this. Do y'all know more than 20 years ago, Mike Tyson got dropped in a fight from sheer fatigue. Wasn't even hurt, but still extended his hand to reach out for the referee to help him up. He actually had a second there where he was looking for the referee to help him up because he was so tired. You understand that he could barely get up. That was 20 years ago. So if that was you 20 years ago, what am I supposed to believe about you now? Now, in the case of Jake Paul, I'm conflicted.
While Jake Paul secured the 11th victory of his professional career, continuing a run built largely on wins over former MMA fighters and relatively unknown boxing opponents. His path through the sport hasn't followed a traditional route, but it has delivered results. Following his win over Mike Tyson, Paul made it clear he's aiming even higher, publicly expressing interest in facing elite competition and even mentioning the possibility of stepping into the ring with Canelo Alvarez.
I tried to give the fight the best fight I possibly could, but when someone's just surviving in the ring, basically, it's hard to make it exciting. So I couldn't really get him to engage me or slip shots and, do something super cool or whatever. But I don't care about what people have to say. They're always going to have something to say, and that it is what it is. There was a point where, I was just like, okay, he's not really engaging back. And so I don't know if he's tired or whatever. And I could just tell, his age was showing a little bit, and I just have so much respect for him. And that like violence war thing between us, like after he slapped me, I wanted to, be aggressive and take him down and knock him out and all that stuff. But that kind of went away as the round.
Event at the home stadium of the Dallas Cowboys drew 72,300 spectators in a celebrity-filled crowd. Turning the night into more than just a fight, it felt like a surreal meeting of two boxing generations. For Mike Tyson, it may signal the closing chapter of his professional career, while for Jake Paul, it marked another milestone in his unconventional rise. The former YouTuber stepped in against the 58-year-old Hall of Famer in Tyson's first sanctioned bout since 2005, facing a legend who once ruled the heavyweight division with 44 knockouts. For Paul, the matchup also served as part of his rebound story following his loss to Tommy Fury, after which he put together a 5-fight winning streak. Inside the ring, the difference in age and activity was evident. Paul appeared quicker and more agile, while Tyson, wearing a leg brace, moved cautiously and lacked the explosive bursts that once defined him. Although Tyson had recently dealt with an ulcer flare-up that postponed the original date, he insisted it did not affect him. Statistically, Paul connected on 78 of 278 punches for 28%. Compared to Tyson's 18 of 97 at 18%, while no knockout came, Paul shook Tyson early and controlled the tempo. By the third round, it was clear the stamina gap had become a decisive factor.
I just felt so mentally focused and locked in. There was no nerves, no adrenaline. Even though my body wasn't as good in shape because of my ankle sprain, I just mentally, everything's slowing down in the ring. I'm not getting as nervous and stuff like that. So that was
Did you
really
notice there's 75,000 people watching? Did I get to it at all? How many people thought
Did I notice it? No, honestly, it's harder fighting in an arena because it's louder. In the stadium, it's not that loud. So
It wasn't the storybook comeback many supporters had imagined for Mike. Tyson, whose career resumed 50 wins and 44 knockouts, still reflects the dominance of his prime years. On the other side, Jake Paul added another high-profile victory to his growing and often debated career, earning a unanimous decision with scores of 80-72 and 79-73 twice. Yet even with the official win, criticism followed. At 27, Paul faced backlash for sharing the ring with a 58-year-old legend, who hadn't competed professionally in nearly 20 years. Although he outlanded Tyson's 78 punches to 18, many fans questioned how meaningful the result truly was. Online, reactions were divided, with some arguing the matchup placed Paul in an impossible position. Defeat would have been damaging. But victory over a retired icon also came with skepticism. While he performed effectively enough to secure the decision, debate continued over what the outcome really meant for both fighters and for boxing itself.
Unfortunately, everybody wasn't surprised. Mike Tyson ended up losing this fight to Jake Paul. My heart wanted Mike Tyson to win, but my mind was like, Jake Paul's gonna win. He's 30 years younger than him. He is getting better as a boxer. I think now I view all these fights that he just recently had as an amateur. He has a very expensive amateur career where he's being paid. Reason why I say it is when you look at boxing, an amateur at least has 25 to 30 fights under their belts before they go pro, and they either go to the Olympics. Where Jake Paul's taking a different route, where he's picking and choosing the athletes that he's fighting, and some of these guys are tough. They're all tough. I'm not saying they're bad, but they're all amateurs as well because they don't have as many fights. Now, the two gentlemen that he did fight recently, the guy he knocked out, the guy who was delivering pizza, and the gentleman Rhino who left boxing to go work at Oral Rig. You got to take into consideration these guys left boxing and they're coming back to get a check. But granted, they were both a lot older than Jake Paul. I believe the pizza boy was 35, and I can't remember how much the oil gentleman is as well. So that's why I'm considering as an amateur. What would I like to see next for Jake Paul? I would like to see Jake Paul fight somebody who is relatively his age. Fight somebody who's 25 to 29 years old, who's on a, who's maybe, 15-1, 12-2, 13-4 in boxing, his age, and has a nice amateur career, maybe 30 fights, 40 fights as amateur, but the culture in boxing is totally different, right? Before I went pro as professional mixed martial artist, I had at least 20 fights, 5, maybe 4 jiu-jitsu tournaments. I had a boxing match, Muay Thai match, shoot boxing match, kickboxing match, and I had like at least 15 mixed martial arts fights before I went pro. So it's a little bit different. So that's why I view this as his amateur career right now, and he's making a lot of money. I mean,
the contest didn't deliver the intensity many expected with each round. Limited to 2 minutes for a total of just 16 minutes in the ring, there was no knockout. And although Mike Tyson displayed moments of determination, he clearly wasn't the same force who once dominated the heavyweight ranks. Wearing a knee brace and moving more cautiously, Tyson still lasted the full 8 rounds against a younger, fitter Jake Paul, a reminder that his resilience remains intact. Reaction on X was intense, some viewers dismissing the bout as unnecessary, and others insisting a prime Tyson would have ended it instantly. Even so, going the distance at 58 highlighted his toughness, though the physical limitations of age were evident. Many observers also noted that Paul avoided sending the veteran to the canvas, which spared an even more uncomfortable ending. The event now concluded. Critics are calling for Paul to test himself against a legitimate top 10 contender or an active champion, arguing that the next step should come against established competition rather than retired legends or crossover athletes.
Yeah. That assists potentially in taking the hands of the sport out, taking the sport out of the hands of the promoters. So in that regard, I root for Jake Paul. I truly, truly do. But in the end, he's 31 years younger. I'm sick and tired of him fighting either non-boxers, strikers, basketball players, or boxers with no punch or whatever. I want to see him go up in there against somebody relatively his age that actually box for a living. If he's going to call himself a boxer, this is the closest that he's gotten to it. And I have no doubt if Mike Tyson catches anybody, he could put him out.
After the fight, Jake Paul admitted he felt nervous in the ring with 58-year-old Mike Tyson, acknowledging the pressure of facing such a legendary name. Meanwhile, viewers grew frustrated as Netflix dealt with buffering issues during the live broadcast, sparking concerns about future events like WWE Monday Night Raw on the platform. Despite criticism and debate surrounding the Atround bout, Tyson made it clear he's not ready to retire, even hinting at a possible clash with Logan Paul. While questions continue about what Paul's win truly means,
the result that I think people truly would have been happy with is a Mike Tyson knockout of Jake Paul. I think that's the only one that would have sufficed, and that wasn't happening. There was never really any doubt. He landed a couple punches early on, but there was never really a question as to whether or not that would happen. I think Jake carried him. I think Jake didn't want to knock him out. I'm not sure if he could have, but he definitely took his foot off the gas last couple rounds for sure. And ultimately, I'm okay with that. I predicted a Jake Paul decision. I thought it would be a little bit more competitive to get to the decision, but ultimately I'm okay with that. I am surprised he didn't call out Canelo afterwards or someone else. I'm not suggesting that should be the fight or that he can beat him or anything like that, but it seemed to be like that was the thing on his mind. I am surprised that Mike said he'll fight again and then maybe he'll fight Logan, although I think he was kidding, to be honest.
Payday wasn't up for debate. Jake Paul reportedly earned a massive $40 million, while Mike Tyson took home a still impressive $20 million. Beyond the spectacle, the bout sparked both excitement and skepticism. And Floyd Mayweather Jr. weighed in from a business perspective. Known for his financial savvy, Mayweather praised Paul's ability to generate attention and revenue, describing his approach as a clever hustle. He also noted that, as long as Paul continues benefiting from strategic matchmaking, something that clearly favors him, it remains a lucrative venture.
He's selling it, and he's making good money, and he's entertaining. I like it.
Is he? And Floyd, there were many people who believe you're the most talented fighter ever. Period. So whatever you say to this question, I think is important. Are you impressed? Does he have boxing ability, or is he just an entertainer who has a lot of fans and can promote a fight and has fought lesser opponents, or is he actually talented?
As long as he continues to fight MMA guys and YouTubers, he's gonna continue to look good and shine. But once he fights a real fighter, a real fighter that can really fight, it's not gonna be that good.
Does he have the ability, with what you've seen, to continue to mold himself into somebody who can actually? He told me before his goal is to fight Canelo, so that's where his mindset's at.
He get fucked up by Canelo. Oh, I'm sorry, it's TMT.
You can curse. You can curse.
I apologize, but
no apologize about.
There's no way he get demolished. But for what he's doing, as long as they keep getting YouTubers and keep putting them in there with MMA guys, that's kind of over the hill, he's gonna continue to shine. So I'm proud of him. I'm not really upset. Even it was so crazy. I remember just a while back, his brother was like, "Oh, I didn't get paid. It was just like I said before. He's going to keep his name out there. As long as he attaches his name to mine, he's going to keep my name out there. Remember what he said? He said, "Oh, Mayweather ain't on. He didn't pay me. Didn't pay me. Where's the lawsuit? If you didn't get paid, where's the lawsuit?" So it's a bunch of bull. But like I said before, they know what they're doing. Both brothers. Logan as well as Jake, they know what they're doing, so they're doing what they got to do. I can't not.
Fight might not be remembered as one of Mike Tyson's greatest moments, but his decision to keep competing adds another fascinating chapter to his storied career. Whether it's against Logan Paul or another opponent, Tyson seems intent on giving fans at least one more spectacle if they're willing to watch. Forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates.